Boom, viewers, subscribers, back again with this quick updates because trust, if it's not heard from Kingmixup, it's not credible. I keep on telling them, you don't know what the thing said, people. Bless up on yourself on that Thursday, yeah, but you know my style already. One bag of one, no one, and I gotta give you these daily updates. From the people you see on the screen and you don't see on the screen. You know what I mean? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I hope everybody's having a bubbly life like popcorn. You see me, I say? Because 99 times out of 10, that don't even make sense. 9 times out of 10 times, you see a big smile on his face. You know what I mean? But anyway, people, enough about that. Let's get straight into the bagga, you see me? Because I got to hear from mix up, not stop stories, you see me, I say? Okay, people, so Bounty Killer is defending his fish son against Ricky Trooper, and he said, people, oh no, no, remember a few years ago, Shitty Scooper got shit up in a fish net for €4,000. Kindly refresh on the brain, take a listen. Yo, the thing I get sticky, some select a boy too, licky pussy say in my play anywhere for anybody from the money run, nasty dirty germs, but my son a batty. Show your jacket picnic them now. And this is the voice note that he playing.
Sorry, Mr. Trooper. I forgot to ask. When you come over to Europe, would it just be yourself that we would be catering for, or do you have anybody that you would be traveling with?
Well, usually I have somebody who like that person always like she's the person that always like do all my bookings in Europe.
Okay.
Okay, that person lives in Italy.
Okay.
You know, so if it's gonna be in Germany, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be nothing difficult for her to fly from Italy to come to Germany. Because Italy they're close to Germany.
Okay. Okay. And if we asked you to wear some promotional clothing, like a T-shirt or something like that, would you have any objections?
No, objection. I don't have objection to help for the promotion. You understand?
Okay. Okay.
I don't have no objection for help for the student. I'm a big jockey, okay? And as I told you, I play for any place of people I play for, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, when you come to music now, so it's like,
Yeah.
the place anybody, you understand?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, another problem with stuff like that.
Okay. I'm really.
I'm a big jockey, so I want my services. And from the money is right,
Yeah.
you have me. That's
Okay.
the next point.
Okay. And what sort of money would we be talking?
I'm very expensive,
I understand. What sort of money would we be talking, though?
Because usually when I like gigs like that, €4,000.
Euro. Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, with that, you would expect flight, hotel, the regular, yeah?
Yeah. So you have it. You have it.
He also went on to say, oh, the fussy willing and agreed to promote and wear all t-shirt. Man a bad man, so when a friend fish can't hold out the pussy them sell out. Dance all mermaid them.
Said that you're okay to, perform for the gay and lesbian crowd, but the promotional T-shirt that we would want you to wear for some of the promotions, we would like to send it to you in advance of the event, and maybe if you could have some photographs done of yourself, would that be possible?
Well, with that part, my management would have to deal with that part, So may I say?
Okay.
See? Because I would have, they the ones who would have to make that final decision.
Okay.
Because I say, another problem, say,
Okay.
But I'm not sure if they would want me, because, at the moment, I have a contract with this company that stands by the name of Fit Design.
Okay.
And usually when I play, those people, who have a contract with them, where I will handle their clothing when I'm performing.
Could we approach them about maybe making an article for the Rainbow Party just to with your name on maybe their brand as well?
Yeah, I could wear my management would have to speak to them, and then they will have the final decision because I'm signed to those people at the moment, so I'm trying to wear their clothing and their clothesline and any gig that I'm doing.
Okay. Obviously, I mean, with this type of event, it's very hard sometimes to find reggae-based dancehall sounds that would be happy to perform for gay and lesbian events. So, I mean, if it went well, would you be interested in doing further events?
As I'm saying, from the money is right, you know, okay?
Okay.
I play for any, I play for any event for the money, right, you know?
Okay.
See, I'm a disc jockey.
Okay.
See? So whether it's heterosexual, whether it's bisexual, whether it's a gay person, see, when I'm playing, how do you know that it's a person who is gay? It's not at the party.
Okay.
Anything sweet you? When so are your ass?
Ah boy, look like someone to kill that focus pan Ricky Trooper and avoiding Mr. Vegas, Dr. Love, and whoever else came out and talked about him. So I'm pretty sure Ricky Trooper is gonna respond. You see, man. Anyway, people, let's get into this Mavado situation. Cause you know, said the gully got get chopped, and he had this to say about it. So Mavado said, let's talk about this so-called warrant we have heard about all of a sudden after 4 years. It seems as if some officers assigned to Constant Spring Police Station, Jennifer Mavado and her people, are conspiring against me. The same police that locked up my son years ago are also the same police that suddenly came up with this warrant 4 years later. In particular, one female officer who told me that Jennifer Mavado is her friend. Now, my peoples, years ago when I left Jamaica, I left things in my lawyer's hands. My lawyers, both overseas and in Jamaica, were in regular communication with the JCF, and there was never any mention of any outstanding warrants. Nothing like this was said to my lawyers over a 4-year period. I wasn't wanted for anything or any reason in Jamaica. In my son's case, the witness went to court after he readily changed his story 3 times in 3 different statements. He also told the court that he didn't mention anything about me and that his statements were altered. So how can a judge still find my son guilty with 3 altered statements and a new statement given on the stand? People are concluding that this looks like blatant corruption, but we are confident the justice system will find exactly that in the appeal. He also said, fast forward 4 years later to the unconnected Jennifer Mavado criminal trial, the case where she stole over $30 million from me at the court date prior to the most recent one. Her attorney, Christopher Townsend, that's, Donna Lee boyfriend's, Noah Maitland's lawyer, all of a sudden came to court and mentioned that I am a wanted man in Jamaica and that the reason I'm not showing up for court is because I'm running away from prosecution. He said this in an effort to prevent me from giving my statement via a satellite for my $30 million his client stole from me. Because by law, if I am wanted, I would not be able to do so, but the DPP office nor the JCF had any idea of any warrants against me. Keep in mind, I am a high-profile figure whose name they have had no problem calling all over the years in connection with any allegation. My lawyer, the DPP office, no media, nobody knew of this so-called warrant existent. The only person who knew apparently was Christopher Townsend, Jennifer Mavado's lawyer. How that possible? My lawyers also checked and there were no warrants found. Furthermore, Townsend is well aware his client stole my money and said to me personally he would give it back. And I have proof. He was CD and the emails to my return my money. And he has also been telling my lawyers to this day that he would facilitate returning my money because he didn't want me to take it to trial. But now he's in court trying to get a judge to stop me from testifying, and somehow is the only person who was aware of a warrant that was supposedly been in the existence for 4 years that nobody knew about but him. Notice that the JCF haven't even publicly answered journalists' questions as to what the warrant is for. Are the JCF embarrassed to do so because they know it's manufactured? A lot of questions need to be answered, people. But the plot thickens, my people. On the morning of the most recent court date, the DPP's second in command got my business phone number and called me around 9 a.m. to ask me if I had any idea about a warrant. Because it's time for trial and a warrant miraculously appeared from the Constant Spring Police Station, which has a well-documented history of corruption. Now, my people, keep in mind, Christopher Townsend, Jennifer Mavado's lawyer, was the first person to mention this so-called warrant. Not my lawyers, not even the DPP office knew of this. He was the first person to mention to the judge that I'm wanted, so the judge ordered an investigation. The police went to all of these agencies that historically have wanted to implicate Mavado for any reason they can find. None of these agencies knew about this so-called warrant. Eventually, the Constant Spring Police Station said that a police officer has a warrant for me. But surprise, surprise, it couldn't be found in the books. They then took over 6 weeks to locate a physical copy of this so-called warrant that miraculously appeared on this recent court date, where the judge was supposed to give me the go-ahead to testify via a satellite. I am calling on the DPP office to do their job, thoroughly investigate just when this warrant was written so that they are not seen to be enabling corruption. And lastly, before me give my opinion of what go on from what not to go on, because trust me, people, these criminals are related. All of them are related. You see me, I said, from the judge, lawyer, DPP, all of them. You see me, I said, so I know nothing for one chopper to make one call to them family and say, you feel me? And we remember Mavado said that this lady was going to make a living hell for him. You know what I mean? And we can see by what he's saying. But anyway, he said presently the DPP office is telling my lawyers that I need to come in and deal with the warrant to be able to testify. What a setup. So no, I'm wondering how many more manufactured outstanding warrants are out there. Can I know before I get there, or do I have to wait until I get there to find out? It seems as if the justice system needs to weed out its own criminals, but we keep the faith in the justice system to do the right thing in mine and everybody's case. I would like to ask the DPP office, why hasn't Townsend been investigated for his part in all of this? And why hasn't Jennifer Mavado been charged for my money laundering and scamming? She's a chopper. As you can see, this is the video of, some hosts mix up business. Same thing with Mavado. You see me, I say, ah boy. Speaking about chopper, pay attention to this video as you see in front of her. This is the full scene. The fully sane woman is in the middle of a halfway tree, posing as a mad woman because of their next defense in court on the trial date coming up very soon. I would like to remind the judge that this woman was of sound mind when she stole my 30 million. boy. And is of sound mind today. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all know people. This is a whole lot, you know what I mean? And you wonder why people don't have no trust in the DPP with Donna Lee case. You see me, I say, and this is why people like the X6 murderer can't walk with free. You know what I mean? Because these people are all related. You know what I mean? This is why the poor get poor and the rich get richer. You see me, I say, this is why the system never convicts their own people, You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get a quick update while going from that to go on. You see me, I say, my people. Now, as usual, I see some things are circulating on the news that I think I need to touch base on. You see me, I say, as you see, Kingmixup Peter Champagny, who is representing the father, stands outside East Cave Drive house in Hellshire, St. Catherine, where the 15-year-old Raheem Shah was shot and killed by his father, who mistook him as a home invader. Now, honestly, people, I can't entirely blame the father for what he did to his son, giving her the island a run with crime and break-ins and robbery and burglaries and all of this stuff. You see me, I say, but what I am going to question is, what kind of training goes out when issuing these licenses for these weapons? You see me, I say, because I don't know where in his body this boy was shot. You see me? In the head, in the back, in the leg. And basically what I'm trying to say, did the father address the burglar? You know what I mean? Like how most police do when they buck up on a suspect. They say, freeze, don't move, unless we're going to shoot. You know what I mean? Maybe if he addressed the burglar, his son would have said, Daddy, I'm me, don't worry. You see me, I say? Oh boy, but like I said, I can't entirely blame the father because giving all the island a run and all of this stuff. But when you have a gun, you have to make sure, certain, you know what I mean? But then again, people, when you have Ministry of National Security Horace Chang, who says shoot first and ask questions later. What do you expect from the normal citizen? And he's telling the JD of JCF for do that. Anyway, people, we're not going to long this out any longer. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit notification. I'm able to be notified when we drop the latest run. Yes, so you see it. Bless.